Welcome, Oceansiders. We're here at Boot Hill Saloon. No, we are not here for a beer. Actually, we are here to tour across the street Pinewood Cemetery here in Daytona Beach. Stay tuned. So directly across the street is the Boot Hill Saloon. Now, there's many bikers that used to keep this place updated, as this was right across the street from the Boot Hill Saloon. So we're here at the Pinewood Cemetery, one of the oldest in Daytona Beach. Now, this houses a lot of the early settlers that did come here during the 1800s. This was established in 1873 by John W. Smith. Now, John W. Smith did have its first burial in this graveyard, which is unfortunately John W. Smith's daughter. Now, unfortunately, due to a lot of movement and during that time, not able to pinpoint where she's exactly buried at. But there's a lot of tombstones around here that do have like really old dates on them. And then they also have a lot of family oriented burials here as well. So if you notice here, here's the Stewart family. And the Stewart family goes all the way across here in the front. And then you can also see how it goes towards the back that way as well. In this little, almost like concrete fenced in area with steps leading up to the Stewart's final resting place. Pretty creepy in here, I have to admit. There's some storm damage that has occurred during the hurricanes, so there are some that I have seen some of the trees that are close to some of the burial grounds have actually lifted up some of the stones, which is kind of crazy. See, here's another grouping from the Davidson family, where they're all together here. I mean, some of them are from 1874 to like 1969, 1846 to like 1925, 1873 to 1911 that they passed away. Super crazy that these are still here all these days later. But I have to say, I did do another one called Pilgrim's Rest, where I walked through the graveyard, and this one seems way creepier than that. But if you notice down here, like I was saying before, with the storms that do come here, there's one over here where you can see where the tree has actually lifted up one of the stones. So I don't know if I don't see anything underneath it though, but that's still very disturbing. Okay, moving on. But it's crazy how some of these are just huge stones. Some of them are pretty big. And as we walk further down this way, there's the Garland family. Rogers and Dunn. So Fisher, and as I was saying, we're walking down this way, and to tell a particular tale about a certain haunted version of this cemetery. Now, if you notice, there are a plethora of cats. There's a couple of them then. They're running away. But this does house a bunch of cats that do live, I believe, that are feral cats. Which brings us to the legend that I am going to tell to you. So here we come to the tomb of the famous story of Adler Schoen Rawlings. Now, Adler Schoen Rawlings, this tomb specifically was vandalized as these kids came into this cemetery. And before, if you notice, in the front of this, there used to be a door there. And the kids came inside here, ransacked the inside of this tomb to make it their own little clubhouse, I guess you could say. So before there was a door here, they went inside and they used poor Mr. Adler's Rawlings' casket as a meeting table. And they would party and drink and have a good old time inside the Rawlings tomb. Since that, they wanted more space for their new clubhouse. So what they did was, they pulled the casket out of this tomb of Mr. Adler Rawlings, and they placed it and dragged it from here down to the road, down below. And the casket, as they dropped it there, opened up. And the head of Mr. Adler came apart from the body. Now, the police later did come and take the body and put it back in the tomb of the final resting place of Mr. Rawlings. But one thing was missing: Mr. Adler's head. And to this day, in this tomb, has Mr. Adler Rawlings with no head. Now you notice the door, they have concreted this thing in with cinder blocks to seal it permanently so that nobody can ever disturb this tomb again. But it is still a creepy and strange story. Now, if you notice on the left-hand side here, I don't see, other than like a ventilation piece up there, I don't see any windows. Or, I don't see anything as far as the right side of the tomb as well. But there is a window that lies here in the back that supposedly at nighttime you could knock on this window and Mr. Adler will answer back. And also there's a chair that sits right here. Okay, so this is daytime while I'm out here filming this. I do not think I would want to come out here and chance it and knock on that to see if I get a knock back from Mr. Rawlings. But that concludes my story. Adler Schoen Rawlings tomb that once was a clubhouse for some unruly teenagers. So as we come up though on the largest burial ground for Bourgogne, we see this giant archway here, and then also two giant burials as well, and then a giant cross stating the last name Bourgogne. So Bourgogne was a prominent 19th century and early 20th century figure here in Daytona Beach. Known as a Union soldier, a successful printing businessman, and a philanthropist, and a community leader. So he was also served as mayor and the Commodore of Halifax Yacht Club near here. So, and he built and named the Sweetheart Yacht, constructed Casino, Bourgogne Social Center, and financed public works such as the Esplendide Bourguignon Promenade, successfully shaping the town's cultural and civic life before his death in 1916. And here's his burial. It sits right here. He lived from 1847 to 1916, to where he met his demise. Very interesting. And then the wife, Mary, over here, does not have a time of death on hers. Interesting. All right. So, and that's also got a giant wall around it. And this is also on the north side. And there's also seating inside there to visit the family. And as we head out of here, out of Pinewood Cemetery, you can see there's a big bench up there, up by one of the burials. And here's a giant stone with nothing on it. Maybe it's on the other side. Oh, here we go. Reese from 1912 to 1924, 16 to 1924, and 14 through 1924. They all died around the same time. Wow. Budded on earth to bloom in heaven. Wow. I wonder what the story is with the Reese. Sounds like they were all brothers or something. Another giant cross here. The Jackson family. And then here, this is one that is interesting. It has a cover, so it looks like they buried all in the same tomb. You can see the names labeled there, or each one of them, right there, there, and there, and there. Or each one of them were all buried in the same burial ground. Wow. L.F. Humphreys and wife. That's crazy. So I guess they stacked the bodies up into tombs like this to save money on burying their families at the time that they pass. Huh. Of course, that's a theory of mine. And more headstones as we are looking towards Peninsula. And if you look here at this broken down park bench, the sacred memory of John W. Smith, Jesse Smith, Elena Beatrice, Alan Beatrice, and Maud Smith. All right, we are leaving here. Thank you for touring the Pinewood Cemetery in Daytona Beach. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you think about the Pinewood Cemetery and the story of Mr. Rawlings. Anyways, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Take care. Oceanside.